You may not believe it, but other people's kimchi jars produce delicious kimchi, while Fang Xue's kimchi jars not only produce delicious kimchi but also attract people. Liu Guanzhang, Zhuge Liang, and also a real Diao Chan. But what's the use of you coming out? You're useless one by one, and you've made a mess of the bun shop. After finally seeing off the people, the second batch has arrived again. Oh, the three brothers of the Ming family and Instructor Wang, Fang Xue said, I'm really good at this. Excuse me, who is going to be my boyfriend? The three brothers of the Ming family were trembling, and Liu Guanzhang said that the shop owner was calm and self-disciplined. Why did he change his art style when he came to their place? Who can save them? We're waiting online, it's quite urgent. After all, this is a modern food article. Although the only delicacy is baozi, don't use kimchi as dry food. Keywords of the novel. My home steamed bun shop connects to the Three Kingdoms without pop-ups. My home steamed bun shop connects to the Three Kingdoms TXT complete collection download. My home steamed bun shop connects to the latest chapters of the Three Kingdoms reading. Chapter 1. She releases 5 celebrities. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. She releases 5 celebrities, let me out, let me out. Someone kept shouting, and Fang Xue stood in front of her kimchi jar feeling helpless. Of course, no one had no choice but to hear the sound coming from someone's kimchi jar. Can we let it go or not? She doesn't know what's inside, this is her kimchi jar. How could anyone make a sound? But if human voices come from the urn, it's even more terrifying. Why didn't Fang Xue smash the kimchi jar in fear? Because she herself is a time traveler, having such an experience makes it easy for her to accept anything that happens. Speaking of Fang Xue, no matter what her identity was in the original time and space, in this parallel time and space, her predecessor was just an unemployed person who graduated from university for 2 years. Fortunately, she was given a house at home, which is located in the morning market. The house has 2 floors, with a store on the first floor and people living on the second floor. Originally, her family still had a residence, but they were seriously ill and sold their house to treat their illness. As a result, their illness was not well managed and they were gone. Her parents are gone, and after graduation, she found a decent job. Little did she know that the company couldn't continue to operate, and when it turned yellow, she also became unemployed. It's hard to find a job, and there were 2 people outside who couldn't find suitable jobs. The rent cost was too high, so she had to go back to her hometown and rely on the rent from this store to make ends meet. But the boss of the steamed bun shop that rented her shop 2 months ago quit. The boss said that he had suffered a lot and could now do business well. As a result, his steamed bun shop business was really bad. He stopped renting and went back to his hometown with his wife and children. The store took it back and kept posting a sign for rent, with many people watching, but it never rented out. Fang Xue was running out of water, and just as she was confused about the future, another Fang Xue came through. Fang Xue has started looking for a job, but in small cities like the 18th tier, it's easy to find a job. However, it's too difficult to find a satisfactory job and get a satisfactory salary. Fang Xue didn't have any plans for a steamed bun shop. Although the shop is her own, she has everything from tables, chairs, and benches, but she can't open it alone. Hiring and selecting raw materials are all very troublesome, and Fang Xue is too lazy to bother. When she saw several kimchi jars in the corner of the store, Fang Xue was not idle and she brewed kimchi. This kimchi is almost ready to be brewed, and she said she would open it tomorrow to taste it. Unexpectedly, she was woken up in the middle of the night. After 1 a.m., she followed the sound and found the kimchi jar. If it were someone else, it might be terrifying. The sound of people coming from the kimchi stall in the early morning is a horror movie. But she herself is a soul, what's so scary that she can die again? She happened to wear it back. Fang Xue stood in place listening to the cries for half an hour. I don't know who's inside this kimchi stall. He can shout so much, isn't he tired? Fang Xue approached with a stone in one hand, and decided to open the kimchi jar. Is it to release people? No, she needs to see his kimchi. The species inside won't eat her kimchi, will they? This is her hard work for several days. The kimchi jar has opened. Fang Xue clenched the stone in her hand and was ready to exhale at any moment. In front of Fang Xue appeared, 1, 2, 5. People. It's human, right? Just like a person, one with a black face, one with a red face, one with big ears, and one with a white face and long beard holding a feather fan. How does this look like the legendary three brothers of Taoyuan? No, we need to add Zhuge Liang with a fan. Celebrities from the Three Kingdoms. Why did celebrities from the Three Kingdoms come to her? There was no expression on Fang Xue's face. She didn't care what the original owner was like. Anyway, she is now a person with no expression, a legendary facial paralysis. XXXX. If someone speaks up and says something, Fang Xue can understand most of it. The other one also spoke up, saying something that was difficult to understand. Speak in person. Fang Xue made a sound, saying something one by one. Can't she speak human language? I figured it out, almost suffocated my old Zhang. Thank you very much, sister. Black-faced old Zhang said and patted Fang Xue. Fang Xue almost slapped him and vomited blood, and the stone in his hand almost cried out. Is this person's hand made of iron? Fang Xue silently swallowed a mouthful of blood and said coldly, You're making too much noise. Yes, what she means is that they are too noisy, too capable of shouting, not letting go, when she is willing. However, did these four people understand, and Fang Xue did not explain. Wait for me. Another female voice came from the jar. For isn't enough yet, is there anyone else? No, female voice, it could be a female ghost. Fang Xue was about to close the jar when another person came out of it. This time, it was a woman, a charming beauty. Fang Xue is a bit strange. Even though they all come out of her kimchi jar, why are everyone dry and refreshing? And there is no smell of kimchi on the body. She thought she took a glance at her kimchi, which was still inside. It was good and smelled good, indicating that she had succeeded. If someone else knows Fang Xue's voice at this moment, they might be cursing. Is that the point? The point is that someone has come out of your kimchi stall, or is it a celebrity? Liu Guanzhang, Zhuge Liang, the beautiful woman, if she were to be replaced, she would probably scream and scream her throat out. You can pour it well and care about your kimchi. Can kimchi have the 5 important things in front of it? Fang Xue breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. As long as her kimchi was not spoiled, she didn't care who else she loved, who was willing to come out, and who came out. It's gone, isn't it? Fang Xue asked and covered it without her. No, the girl is really a dragon and phoenix among people. She didn't change her face when she saw us, which really impressed Liang. Zhuge Liang, holding a feather fan, spoke up. He had good facial features and looked like a literati, which was very pleasing to the eye. It seems that I guessed correctly. They are the characters from the Three Kingdoms, but how did they come out of their own kimchi jar? Who is that charming and charming beauty? There are many beautiful women in the Three Kingdoms, is it Sun Shangxiang? If it weren't for Big Qiao and Little Qiao. Or Zhenmi. But it's not like that. It's impossible to be the most famous Diao Chan, right? Easy to go, no delivery. After Fang Xue finished speaking, she waved her hand and prepared to continue her sleep. People, can you be considered human beings, ancient people? If she were released, then there would be nothing left for her. These people can just roll away casually. As for these people who want to rely on her and think beautifully, she can't even support herself. Is it possible for her to support others? Miss, stay behind, we. The person with big ears resembling Liu Bei made a clattering sound. Then the rest of the people also spoke with you, and I spoke with each other. They didn't care if Fang Xue could understand, they had to leave the people behind first. If they ran away, who would they go to? I have opened a new book. The type and theme of the new book are not the same as before. I hope you will like it. The seedlings need to be taken care of. Please give them a collection. Those who have recommended votes can help vote. I love you. End of this chapter. Is chapter 2 all waste? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is chapter 2 all waste? Okay, this time Fang Xue understands. These people are indeed from the three kingdoms, including the Taoyuan brothers and their military advisors, as well as the beautiful Diao Chan. They told her to stay with her. She released the people together, and she still has to be responsible and accept them. She is now the protagonist of these things, no, the protagonist. They must stay with her for a year before they can leave. This year, Fang Xue had to manage their food, drink, and sleep, regardless of whether it was not possible. This time, let yourself out of 5 troubles. Fang Xue is unwilling, who is willing to take responsibility. She can't even support herself. How can she support these 5 people? These 5 people have hands and feet, they can't do anything. How famous are you, Liu Guanzhang? You all have unique skills, and if you can't do it, you can do it. How famous are you, Zhuge Liang? If you go to serve as a counselor, everyone is vying for you. Why rely on me as an ordinary person? You beautiful Diao Chan, why can't you make money when you go to the talent show and become an internet celebrity? But she won't do it, people won't let her go, including the beautiful Diao Chan looking at her, it's like he's a scumbag, eating them and not taking responsibility for them. According to these people, if they leave her, they will be recycled back, and only by following her can they be outside. 3 chapters of the Constitution. Fang Xue spoke up, seemingly unable to get rid of the trouble. She glanced at the kimchi jar and wondered who had left her hand behind to soak the kimchi, or who had left her hand behind to open it. Please speak. The red-faced man Guan Yu made a gesture of invitation. No matter when you are, tell me in plain language. Fang Xue spoke the first point, but she really didn't understand the dialect they were speaking in, and she even struggled to listen to classical Chinese. Of course, you are the master. The beautiful woman Diao Chan opened her mouth first, and there was a shimmering light in her eyes. Looking at Fang Xue, it was an infinite tenderness. It's useless for you to flirt with me. I am a woman, a woman. Secondly, be obedient and listen to me. Fang Xue did not fall drunk in the eyes of the beautiful woman, and continued with the second point. Naturally, it's up to the Lord. Zhuge Liang spoke with an obedient expression. Thirdly, I haven't thought of it yet. Let's talk about it later. Fang Xue didn't think it out. Anyway, just have the first 2 items first. Actually, as long as there is a second item, it's okay. Just listen to her, as long as you listen to everything. Delying. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei clenched their fists. Seeing that they had no objections, Fang Xue frowned again. What were they all wearing? Fortunately, they didn't have weapons, otherwise she would have had a headache. I'll change my clothes first. Fang Xue doesn't want them to be seen in this strange ancient costume. Emoji. Liu Bei spoke up. The rest of the people shook their heads, and when they came out, they only had their own clothes, nothing else to change. Fang Xue looked at them and felt a headache. She didn't have any clothes to change for them at home. Forget it, ancient costumes are just ancient costumes. Let's do whatever we love. As for Diao Chan, the clothes on her body are very beautiful. Let Fang Xue wear her own clothes. Fang Xue is almost 1.7 meters tall. Although she is not overweight, Diao Chan is petite and has a slender figure. Her clothes are not suitable for her. How to arrange these people? The storefront on the second floor where she lives is about the same size as the first floor of her home, about 30 square meters. She has enough to live, but how can these 5 people come out and live? Also, what would these 5 people do? If they were to rely solely on her, they would all starve to death. Congratulations to the host for opening the food system and rewarding them with the secret recipe of Maixiang Baozi. At this moment, a voice suddenly came out of Fang Xue's mind. That electronic synthesis sound. System, Fang Xue is not unfamiliar with this word. No matter how many novels she read in her past life, the system is a mess. Food system, you can pull it down. Your food is steamed buns. Don't think that by giving them a nice name, you can call them delicious food. Rewarding the secret recipe for steamed buns, what is she doing here? She's not planning to open a steamed bun shop. Fang Xue had a headache and her soul was pierced. Then she made a kimchi and brought out a bunch of people for her. Now, come up with a system and give her a reward for the secret recipe of steamed buns. I know her shop can't be rented out, forcing her to open a steamed bun shop. She doesn't want to open a steamed bun shop and finds it troublesome to attract people. Well, when someone brought it, she was afraid it wasn't enough, so she even gave away 5, both men and women. It's very considerate. I won't be able to open it now. Well, opening a steamed bun shop can at least feed these few people. With steamed buns to eat, they won't starve to death. System, can you generate your own buns? Fang Xue asked the system in her heart. If it could generate it on its own, then she thought it was pretty good. Otherwise, if she were to make buns every day, she would go crazy. The host first uses a secret recipe to make qualified buns, and the system will reward the assembly line. The system gave Fang Xue an answer. Fang Xue understood, which means that the system provided a secret recipe, and she had to use this recipe to make the buns first. If she succeeded, the system would reward the assembly line, so she didn't need to do it anymore. The system would generate it itself. It's okay. Fang Xue breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. Is there any other secret recipe? Fang Xue asked again. You forced me to open a steamed bun shop. I can't just sell the same bun, can I, whose steamed bun shop only sells the same bun? If the host sells Maixiang buns and receives 10,000 positive reviews, they will be rewarded again. The system also answered Fang Xue. Fang Xue understands that we cannot get something for nothing. We need to receive enough praise before we can obtain the secret recipe. Anyway, we can't get it now. Alright, the top priority now is to make the wheat-flavored buns first. Fang Xue looked at the 5 people standing in front of her, staring at her, and then looked at the time on her phone. It was 3 o'clock. Why are you still sleeping? If she doesn't sleep, don't even sleep. Let's make some buns. Fang Xue walked ahead, followed by 4 big men and a delicate beauty, and went to the kitchen together. Who would make noodles? Fang Xue asked. Since it's her person, then we should make the most of everything and not just eat her for free. 4 men and 1 woman shook their heads together, not knowing. Who can make steamed buns? Fang Xue asked again. Shake your head uniformly. Who would? Shake your head, shake your head, shake your head. Fang Xue felt that they must be produced by the same manufacturer, with a standardized shaking head. What are you shaking? Shake again, your head will fall off. She collected 5 useless dim sum together. Finally, I have to go on my own. What do you know? Fang Xue asked Liu Bei unwillingly. I can cry and whimper. Liu Bei looked at Fang Xue and showed his strengths. He could cry and become a king. Fang Xue gave him a white eye and looked at Guan Yu. I know how to read. Guan Yu squinted his phoenix eyes and stroked his long beard, with a proud expression on his face. He was a scholar who was good at reading about spring and autumn. You are really amazing. Fang Xue gave Guan Yu a thumbs up. My old Zhang has a loud voice and knows how to fight. Zhang Fei had a short beard and stared. You're amazing, staring at you again is like a copper bell. Fang Xue doesn't hold any hope for Zhang Fei. He can't even thread needles and even make steamed buns. He can eat steamed buns. I won't go out until dawn, I'll know everything about the world. Zhuge Liang shook his feather fan, looking like a master of a noble family. Dear, with your phone and computer, and Du Nyang's understanding, I can also fully understand the world's affairs. Fang Xue finally looked at Diao Chan. I can dance. Diao Chan's watery eyes looked at Fang Xue. She was beautiful and could sing and dance, and no one here could match her. Seeking collection and recommended tickets. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. A Pile of Foodies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. A Pile of Foodies. Fang Xue is speechless. You can dance, but this is Baozi shop. Baozi shop, dear, why do I want you to dance? I'll take you to the Dance Forest Conference. Fang Xue wanted to cry and say, what's the use of all of you? Find your own spot and stay. Fang Xue kicked people out of the kitchen, he knows nothing, don't get in the way here. 5 people are also very speechless. They can't make buns or cook. Hey, heroes have no place to be. 5 people sighed and sat down in the shop, chattering and chattering, fanning and fanning, looking so leisurely. Unfortunately, Fang Xue doesn't have any melon seeds for them to eat here, otherwise it would be even more leisurely. Fang Xue treated them as non-existent and sent the noodles first. As for the secret recipe, Fang Xue looked at it and said, what's the fragrance of wheat? Isn't it just pork and scallions? She gave a lofty name, thinking that you could change the essence. At 4:30, Fang Xue opened the door and went out, by which time the morning market had already begun. Fang Xue's shop is located in the morning market, and she has a meat stall less than 5 meters away from home. The meat in this restaurant is pretty good, and Fang Xue is almost the earliest customer. She picked a large piece of pork. After buying the pork, Fang Xue picked up another bundle of scallions and bought all kinds of seasonings from the small shop next to her. You come. Fang Xue called out to Liu Bei, I can't really let you eat for free. Aren't you good at crying? Okay, I'll leave the scallions to you to chop. Come on. Fang Xue called out to Guan Yu and Zhang Fei again, washed the meat she had just bought, and placed it on the cutting board. Guan Eryi is famous for his big knife skills, and Zhang Fei should not be underestimated either. Let's leave the chopping of meat to you. The 3 people over there were busy, while Fang Xue placed the prepared noodles on the chopping board, kneaded them, and began to pick up the noodles. You 2 press, this way, do you understand? Fang Xue told Zhuge Liang and Diao Chan to follow the rules. Zhuge Liang looked at his hands, and Diao Chan also looked at her white and tender hands like bamboo shoots. What is her hand for? No work, no food to eat. Fang Xue spoke calmly, not caring for idle people. I can do it, I am willing to work now. Diao Chan quickly spoke up, joking that she was a beautiful woman. She didn't eat much, but she couldn't go hungry. Since these people have come here, if they don't eat, they will starve to death and won't be able to go back. Liang obeys. Zhuge Liang nodded, put down his feather fan, rolled up his sleeves, wasn't it just work? No one knows what to do. Seeing that they were all obedient, Fang Xue breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. Liu Bei picked up the scallions and started cutting them. While cutting, he was sobbing. Crying is his specialty, but he doesn't like to cut scallions and cry. Third brother, go over there. Second brother, my place is already small enough, please don't squeeze me. Third brother, you used too much strength. Second brother, my old Zhang has no place to use his strength. As Guan Yu and Zhang Fei spoke, they also chopped the meat. Fang Xue began to mix the filling. Don't be fooled by the secret recipe, can you make delicious buns with it? In my dreams, even if I give you a prescription, you have to experiment countless times to make a good taste. Fang Xue took out several small pots and divided the chopped meat into multiple portions. Mix each filling well. Zhuge Liang and Diao Chan were enjoying their facial preparations, and their faces were also stained with noodles, but they didn't pay much attention. Lord, I have finished pressing. Diao Chan looked eagerly at Fang Xue, with a look of seeking praise. The light has also been pressed. Zhuge Liang is calm and gentle, but the pride in his eyes is true. Why are you proud one by one? Fang Xue gave 2 people a white eye as a reward, then rolled out the skin and started wrapping. A pack of 6, there are only 6 people in the room, 1 person per person is just right. Fang Xue packed 48 buns, divided them into 8 cages, with 6 in each cage, and arranged them in a row. This way, Fang Xue knew which cage was filled with which filling. Seizing the time, the steamed buns went down the drawer, and Fang Xue saw Liu Bei and Zhang Fei swallowing saliva. You are all celebrities, can you be a bit successful? Let me try it first. Zhang Fei is not afraid of the heat, so he grabbed a big bun and stuffed it into his mouth. Where did you leave your eldest and second brothers in such a hurry? Actually, Fang Xue didn't know that these people hadn't eaten such human food for a long time. Fang Xue picked up a bun and took 2 bites. The skin was thin and the filling was big. Although Fang Xue didn't like the taste of scallions, the taste was actually good. Seeing that Fang Xue did not stop Zhang Fei from eating, Liu Bei and the others also took steamed buns to eat. Diao Chan, a beautiful woman, didn't hesitate to take a small bite of a steamed bun and ate it with a happy expression on her face. Zhang Fei finished taking a few bites of steamed buns and eagerly looked at Fang Xue. Fang Xue pointed to the cage drawer. Anyway, he can eat 1 in each drawer. If you eat quickly, eat it. The first steamed bun, Fang Xue, has been eaten, and the second steamed bun, Fang Xue, has also been eaten. Then, Fang Xue let out a hiccup and choked a bit. Fang Xue took a cup and took 2 sips of water. System, no kanji or anything? Fang Xue asked the system in her heart. If the host makes the steamed bun with wheat flavor successfully, it can reward the kanji with corn flour. The system gave Fang Xue an answer. Well, although Fang Xue can cook kanji with corn flour, the system rewards are different. It can be produced by assembly line. Otherwise, you can expect Fang Xue to cook porridge every day, which won't kill her. The third bun was broken by Fang Xue, and the rest was handed to Diao Chan. Diao Chan looked at Fang Xue with a slightly aggrieved gaze. She wanted to eat the whole thing, she didn't want to eat half of it. Fang Xue looked at Diao Chan with a gloomy gaze. You are a beautiful woman, you have eaten 2 whole buns. What else do you think? You have gained weight, and can you still dance? Under Fang Xue's gloomy gaze, Diao Chan reluctantly took over half of the steamed buns and looked at the one that belonged to her with a resentful expression as Zhang Fei ate it. Thank you very much, Lord. Your kindness to me, old Zhang. Zhang Fei thanked him with gratitude while eating. This lord is really considerate and knows that he has a big appetite. Give him more to eat. Diao Chan is almost crying. The protagonist is really biased. Why don't you hurt her? Fang Xue continued to take down a bun, took a bite to taste, and gave the rest to Diao Chan. Diao Chan is very aggrieved, but she dare not say it. The 8 steamed buns in the cage were eaten clean, and Fang Xue couldn't help burping. It was really enough, but looking at Diao Chan, her belly was still deflated, as if she was eating air. Diao Chan is really sad. How could Zhang Fei eat so many steamed buns? She can also eat them. She is not afraid of gaining weight. Tell me, which one is delicious? Fang Xue didn't care what Diao Chan thought and asked loudly, Baozi is not for free. You have to tell her which cage tastes good. I, old Zhang, think the first one is the most delicious. Zhang Fei was the first to speak. He took the first bite of baozi, which was so delicious. The fifth cage. Guan Yu gave him the answer. I actually think the sixth cage is the most delicious. Liu Bei also spoke out. You three brothers gave three answers. Fortunately, you only have 3 brothers and 4,000 years old did not come. Otherwise, you still have 4 answers. The fifth cage. Zhuge Liang and Guan Yu's opinions have been unified. I think the seventh cage has the best taste. Diao Chan also spoke softly. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Opening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Opening. Does Diao Chan, like Fang Xue, think the seventh cage is the best? Zhang Fei's answer is ruled out because he is the first person to take the first bite, so he thinks it's best to eat. Guan Yu and Zhuge Liang found the fifth cage delicious, while Fang Xue and Diao Chan found the seventh cage delicious. Everyone has different tastes, but the seventh and fifth cages actually have the closest taste. The system did not say that Fang Xue had completed the task, which means that none of these 8 steamed buns met the requirements of the system. Next, she will improve the filling by adjusting the flavors of the 5th and 7th cages, which should be able to meet the requirements as quickly as possible. We're all full now, right? Fang Xue asked Liu Guanzhang how many people there were, and she used affirmative language. No. Zhang Fei and the others looked pitifully at Fang Xue. They had only eaten a few, how could they be full, not even half full? Fang Xue was speechless, and she deducted Diao Chan's share from Zhang Fei. He had not eaten enough yet, so she wanted to eat her down. If you're not full, then continue to pack. Fang Xue thought about the ingredients for making wheat-flavored buns and started making the filling again. This time it's 8 cages again. The steamed buns were cooked, but Fang Xue stopped eating them. She couldn't eat them anymore. Look at Zhang Fei and the others eating happily, even Diao Chan looked happy. Finally, she couldn't hold on to her anymore. She could eat enough. Eat it to death, how can you eat it so well? If there is no system, only Fang Xue can make her own buns, and the buns she makes every day are not enough for you to eat. Congratulations to the host for successfully making the steamed bun with wheat flavor. The congee with corn flour has been rewarded. The sound of the system rings. Did you succeed? Fang Xue's eyes lit up. Which cage? Fang Xue is willing to try it, forget it, I really can't eat it anymore. Anyway, in the future, I will sell wheat-flavored buns that can be eaten at any time. She is afraid of being stretched to death if she eats again now. System, does that mean that steamed stuffed buns and congee can be produced by assembly line? Fang Xue asked the system. Yes, the host can activate the production button. The system gave Fang Xue an answer. A virtual screen appeared in front of Fang Xue, with some frames on it. Fang Xue took a look at the introduction, which was quite simple. Fang Xue pressed the production button for the wheat-flavored buns, and a basket of buns appeared out of nowhere on the table. This feels a bit surreal. Fang Xue curiously opened the cage drawer and took a look. The buns were steaming hot, each of the same size, looking so tempting. Assembly line products are good, of the same size. You should know that you make your own buns. Even if you have exquisite craftsmanship, each bun may have some slight differences. In addition, when it comes to making noodles, sometimes the bun shop may also fail, and the noodles may not be well made, making it difficult for the buns to rise. The filling of each bun cannot be exactly the same size. But the steamed buns produced by the system will not have such problems. And the steamed buns produced by the system will not cool in the cage, and they will remain as hot as when they were just released. Now there are assembly line products produced by the system, and these problems have been solved. Fang Xue doesn't have to worry about anything anymore. Fang Xue is quite satisfied in her heart. System, will you provide me with steamed buns like this in the future? Don't I have to worry about raw materials or anything else? Fang Xue thinks that if it were like this, she would really save her worries and make a lot of money. She doesn't have to buy noodles, meat, and various materials, pure profit. The system gave Fang Xue a big white eye. What good things to think of. The system told Fang Xue the rules. Yes, Fang Xue doesn't need to buy vegetables or meat, but the system can't produce it out of thin air. It also requires materials. Of course, it does not require Fang Xue to provide its materials. Its materials are optional and it guarantees to use good noodles and meat. Fang Xue only needs to provide it with money. The system calculated for Fang Xue that the cost price for a wheat-flavored bun was 2 yuan. That is to say, for every bun sold by Fang Xue, the system will deduct 2 yuan. As for how much Fang Xue sells, it is up to her. Fang Xue is speechless. She lives in this 18th-tier small city, where prices are incomparable to those in big cities. The teachers in this middle school earn over 4,000 yuan per month. Of course, not to mention the benefits, they earn over 5,000 yuan per month. You can see the level of this city from here. She knows the price of steamed buns here because she has eaten them a few times since she arrived. In the morning market, besides her dry bun shop, there are also 2 bun shops that are quite close to her, not even 10 meters away. The most expensive ones in those 2 families are beef steamed stuffed buns, 2 yuan each, vegetable steamed stuffed buns, meat and vegetables, congee, soybean milk, tea eggs, and pickles. They only sell 2 pieces of beef, and the cost of your pork is only 2 yuan. Yes, the store is owned by oneself, but there is also capital, water and electricity, and labor. I have these free laborers, but I also have to provide them with food and drink. Zhang Fei has to eat 30 big buns at once, which is something that ordinary people can afford. By this calculation, a bun must be sold for at least 3 yuan. The taste of steamed buns is good, but why are you 1 yuan more expensive than others? They are all meat, and yours is not dragon meat. So beef is much more expensive than pork. This steamed bun shop used to have its business taken away by 2 other companies, losing money before quitting. Now she not only has a limited variety of steamed buns, but also high bargaining prices. This system doesn't even want her to open it. Where is congee? Fang Xue's voice is cold. This congee won't cost 1 yuan a bowl. If she sells it for 1 yuan, she must lose money. The system did not disappoint Fang Xue, and the cost price is 1 yuan per bowl. Fang Xue's face turned black. Liu Guanzhang, Zhuge Liang and Diao Chan did not express surprise at the appearance of steamed buns and congee. They can appear here, which means they already know a lot. You should know that they are ancient people. If they didn't know anything and appeared here out of thin air, how could they not be panicked or curious? This is a world completely different from the 3 kingdoms. But what about them? The other party seems completely disinterested in the Snow's attire, the architecture here, and modern products. It seems like they all know about it. They seem to know about Fang Xue's system as well. Fang Xue didn't care about what those few people thought. It was already 6 o'clock, and by then many shops had already opened. Open for business. Fang Xue spoke expressionlessly. Anyway, it has already been tricked, so let's open the business. It really can't be sold out. When will it be sold out? We can't afford to raise those few people anymore. Let's talk about it. As for whether today is an auspicious day, does Fang Xue still care about it? As for her steamed bun shop plaque, there is nothing in the catalogue. If there is none, there is none. Anyway, I am a steamed bun seller. I only have one type of steamed bun at home, so you don't have it. What can you do? Liu Guanzhang and the others obediently opened the door. Ah, this steamed bun shop has opened the door. At this moment, there was an old man strolling through the morning market. The old lady saw the open door, which used to be a steamed bun shop. Although the business was not very good, there were also customers coming to visit. Now seeing the door open, a curious old man walked in. He has been here before, but the taste of the steamed buns at this place is average. Later, the steamed bun shop stopped drying, and he wants to see what this place sells now. Greet guests. Fang Xue shouted, she can't really keep them for nothing. Old man, eat baozi. Sir, do you want to eat steamed buns? Old man, let's eat baozi. Grandpa, do you eat steamed buns? Old. Liu Guanzhang, Zhuge Liang, Diao Chan and the other 5 surrounded the old man, each asking different names. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Guests. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Guests. Fang Xue's mouth twitched as she looked at them. Yes, they were all in plain language, but look at what they all looked like. That black-faced Zhang Fei is called the old man, and the beautiful woman Diao Chan is called the grandfather. You can be someone's grandmother at your own age. She really has no face to look at. Cough, I'll see for myself, I'll see for myself. The old man was surrounded in the middle, which was quite uncomfortable. These 5 people were dressed strangely, each looking strange. They were white, red, and black, and their speech was strange. They couldn't have come from Nanshan, right? These people are not very old, why do they all grow beards? They're already 70 years old, and he hasn't grown a beard either. What kind of aesthetics is this? But that girl is really good. Looking, is she a celebrity? He doesn't know. How could a celebrity come to this small steamed bun shop? What kind of steamed buns are there? The old man approached Fang Xue and asked, feeling that Fang Xue was the only normal person here. Grandpa, only the ones with wheat fragrance are available now. Fang Xue answered the first guest to enter. What is my xiang? I want to eat pickled Chinese cabbage eggs. Give me 2 pickled Chinese cabbage eggs and a bowl of big congee. The old man ordered it himself. Fang Xue's face stiffened, and she said the system would pit him. There are only wheat-flavored ones, such as pork and scallions, and congee with corn flour. There is nothing else. Fang Xue remained calm and said, anyway, it's not her fault for this. She's not embarrassed, it's someone else who's embarrassed. Pork and scallions are just pork and scallions. What's the flavor of wheat? Pork and scallions. Let's have a bowl of congee with rice and noodles. Oh, yes, how much is a steamed bun? The old man is quite talkative. Anyway, since everyone has come, let's have some. Steamed buns with wheat flavor, 3 yuan each, and congee, 2 yuan each. Fang Xue quoted the price, which was the price she had planned. As for the high price, she couldn't help it. What? The old man suspects that his ears are not working properly. Don't think that if you have a few strange people in your store, you can make money. You sell pork and scallions for 3 yuan each. You are a black shop. This is a morning market steamed bun shop, not a big restaurant. 2 yuan each for congee and a plate of pickles for free. Fang Xue is helpless. You are more expensive than other stores. You must have a reason. You said your buns have good ingredients and taste, but they didn't eat them. How do you know? Do you think it's good to use good materials? How many people now believe the merchant's words? Then come on, and have another bowl of congee. I wanted to be angry, but after thinking about it, forget it. Congee is a little expensive, but people have enough care. You can drink 2 bowls of it and come back. You can also send pickles for free. Upon hearing this, Fang Xue quickly picked up 2 buns. The first customer stayed and ordered the buns, which was a good start and a good omen. Fang Xue looked at the 5 people eating, no, 5 people. I'll do it. I'll come. My end. A few people were vying to come forward, but nothing else could be done. It's still okay to serve a steamed bun. Brothers, come on, I'm here. Diao Chan may seem weak, but like the wind, she first approached Fang Xue and extended her delicate white jade hand. Fang Xue handed the steamed bun to Diao Chan and gestured for him to send it to someone. She didn't care about any beautiful women, but since she came, she had to work for her. Diao Chan went to deliver steamed buns, but the brothers didn't get them. They were staring at each other. Fang Xue gave them a bowl and asked them to serve congee to the guests. 5 people are going to serve congee together. Fang Xue gives them a look. How many people are needed to serve congee? Leave 1. Fang Xue let out a shout. Okay, the brothers stopped together and looked at Fang Xue together. Do you have a conjoined baby? Leave 1, didn't you understand? This time, Fang Xue's expression told them that they understood. In the end, Guan Yu stayed and was stuffed with a small plate of kimchi in Fang Xue's hand. Yes, it's just a small plate, with a piece of scallion, a piece of carrot, a piece of white carrot, a piece of ginger, and 2 cowpeas inside. She asked Guan Yu to deliver it to someone and open a shop. There must be a discount, and her kimchi is just a discount for people. Guan Yu looked at the kimchi in his hand, and he knew that they came out of it. Of course, they couldn't have really come out of the kimchi, nor were they soaked in it. It was just a space-time hole. Guan Yu gave people kimchi, while Fang Xue was pondering. She brewed 5 different types, so she gave him 5 people. Does something correspond to a person? So who corresponds to what among the 5 of them? Fang Xue looked at a few people, pondering. This is kimchi, I need to try it. The old man who ate steamed buns picked up a piece of carrot and put it in his mouth. Not to mention, this thing is sour and has a good taste. It's delicious. The old man nodded and praised Fang Xue's craftsmanship. As he grew older, he always smoked and had little taste in his mouth. He only liked to eat sour and sweet kimchi, which was quite to his taste. Fang Xue showed a sincere smile. Her ancestral kimchi craftsmanship is not good enough. If her craftsmanship is not good, she cannot kimchi either, and then there will be no such stories. The old man is eating steamed buns again. Well, the noodles are good, the skin is thin, the meat is fragrant, and the taste is really good. The steamed buns in this restaurant are much more delicious than before, and many of them are even more delicious than the ones I have tried before. I once went to a big restaurant with my son, and the meat buns cost 5 yuan each, which is much worse than your taste. Girl, your steamed buns are not bad. The old man took a bite of the steamed bun and nodded repeatedly. The skin of the bun was thin, unlike some buns, and he couldn't even find the filling after taking several bites. The meat was fragrant, but it wasn't that smooth flowing oil or that annoying aroma. It was the aroma of the food that made him want to take the second bite even after taking the first bite. Gudong, Fang Xue heard it, it was Zhang Fei swallowing saliva. You are really a foodie. Can you tell me how many buns you have eaten? You haven't had enough yet. Fang Xue glanced at him, ignoring Zhang Fei's expression, asking her to give him a few more buns to taste. This congee is not bad either. It's more fragrant than other congee, but your steamed buns are too few. My uncle told you that you should make more samples. You should have more meat, vegetables, and congee, or you should eat enough. The old man gave high praise and decided to become a regular. Whoever eats is not eating, and whoever spends money is not spending. Why not eat the best? But the master still gave an opinion. Okay. Fang Xue nodded, thinking that she didn't want it. She also wanted it. The problem was that she needed talent. Fang Xue now knows that her steamed bun shop needs to be based on the system. She can only sell what the system provides. At this point, someone has entered the store again. An old lady, a middle-aged man, a middle-aged woman, and a boy aged 12 or 13. They shouldn't be from the same family, although they came in front and back. What kind of steamed buns are there? The old lady asked at the front. Thank you for collecting, my friends who voted for me. Please collect and recommend. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Diao Chan Cheng Negative Textbook. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Diao Chan Cheng Negative Textbook. The middle-aged man and woman were looking up, and on this wall, there was a catalogue that used to be made from Baozi shops with prices. But it's useless even if you look at it. That's the original one. There is only wheat flavor, that is, pork and scallions, for 3 yuan each, and congee with corn noodles, for 2 yuan each. You can drink it freely, and you can get a plate of pickles as a gift. This time, Fang Xue was very skilled in reporting and explained everything clearly. 3 pieces of pork. Where's the price? The old lady was dissatisfied and looked at Fang Xue with a somewhat stern expression. The middle-aged man and the middle-aged woman also glanced at Fang Xue, feeling somewhat surprised that the price was too high. The boy, who was 12 or 13 years old, sat down at a table. He was looking at Liu Guanzhang and Zhuge Liang, and finally at Diao Chan. This beautiful sister is really beautiful. I don't know if we can fall in love. As for how much steamed stuffed buns cost, it has nothing to do with him. Anyway, it's his mother's expense. Liu Guanzhang, Diao Chan, and Zhuge Liang stood still. They didn't attract customers, and they knew that the boss despised their level of hospitality. 3 wheat-flavored dishes and a bowl of congee. The middle-aged man sat down and found that a steamed bun was only 1 yuan more expensive. He could afford it. The girl in this shop looked so beautiful, much more beautiful than any internet celebrity. Even for the sake of seeing beautiful women, the money was worth it. His steamed buns are a bit expensive, but they are delicious. When I eat her family's meat, it must be good meat. The old man and the steamed buns are almost finished, which can be considered as advertising for Fang Xue's shop. However, Fang Xue knows that the old man does like them because he gave her 2 positive reviews. Watching the positive reviews add one after another, Fang Xue sincerely thanks the good master. If it were all guests like the master, she would soon be able to obtain the secret recipe again and increase the variety of steamed buns. The middle-aged woman, who hesitated a bit, asked for 5 steamed buns, but the old lady didn't buy them. They were delicious and not worth it. She wanted to buy several steamed buns and spent several more yuan here. You should know that her monthly retirement salary is only over 1,000 yuan, and spending a few more yuan a day is a big deal for her. Do something flashy and deceitful. The old lady left dissatisfied. Fang Xue didn't stay either. Her steamed bun shop is more expensive than others, and she can't force someone to buy it. Fang Xue picked up the buns, and Diao Chan quickly moved up to the front end of the buns. This time Liu Guanzhang consciously took a bowl to make porridge for the guests. Middle-aged men and women also occasionally look at Liu Guanzhang and others, and their hearts are curious. The mother and son only wanted a bowl of congee, and the mother gave it to her son, but she would also take a few mouthfuls of congee, and when her son finished eating it, the mother went to play another bowl, and this time she drank it herself. Fang Xue saw it and didn't say anything about a bowl of congee. If her mother was really rich, she wouldn't be like this. The middle-aged man and the mother and son both gave positive reviews, and Fang Xue was still happy. Girl, are these people you invited dressed like this for an event? How much does it cost? Are you going to perform a show later? The old man had eaten almost enough, but he didn't leave. He had nothing to do and was an idle person who liked to chat and didn't consider himself an outsider. They are the waiters I hired in my store, they don't perform any shows. Fang Xue said, why don't you come and eat steamed buns? Should I ask Diao Chan to dance for you or something? Otherwise, I'll ask Zhuge Liang to give you a lesson model. Let Guaniri perform a big knife for you again. Or let Zhang Fei perform a bridge water end flow for you. Is it really not possible for Liu Bei to give you a crying scene? Forget it. Yes, this can attract customers, but Fang Xue doesn't want to do it or use them to attract customers. With so many people in your store, you have to earn a considerable monthly salary. Can you still make money? The old man is worried about Fang Xue. If he pays again, this steamed bun shop will have to close again. I appreciate your concern for me, but I can't see off these 5 people. Fang Xue smiled at the old man. You need to study hard, otherwise when you grow up, you will have to come and sell steamed buns. Look at how beautiful that sister is, but she can only sell steamed buns. The middle-aged woman whispered to her son with an educated expression. Fang Xue glanced twice. You really know how to give an example. Diao Chan was so pitiful when you said so. Why don't she become an internet celebrity and a celebrity? The boy couldn't figure it out. This little sister is really beautiful. Why sell steamed buns? Being his girlfriend is better than selling steamed buns. What's the use of being good-looking? If you don't have any education, you'll have to work hard. The mother of the child obviously took out Diao Chan as a typical example to educate her son. Fang Xue looked at Diao Chan, who seemed to have not heard her and was not sad at all. Seeing Fang Xue looking at her, Diao Chan's eyes immediately became watery, as if she had been wronged. Fang Xue said, "Don't pretend. If you want me to feel sorry for you, how many more buns will I give you?" Impossible. Fang Xue no longer looks at Diao Chan. People came into the store one after another, asked about the price, left, and stayed. Fang Xue saw that Diao Chan and Liu Guanzhang were also very skilled in entertaining guests. For the attire of a few people in ancient costumes, those who enter the store are curious, and those who eat steamed buns often look at them, as well as those who take photos, but no one says anything. After all, there are also many people wearing ancient costumes in Hanfu nowadays. They have seen the opening of a new store and the act of dressing people in ancient costumes for performances. It's quite rare to see it. Everyone has their own business to do, and who can worry about others like an old man. After 8.30, the number of people decreased significantly, and Fang Xue was not in a hurry. She sold a lot of steamed buns, and now she has received over 100 positive reviews. Of course, not everyone has given positive reviews, even if they have given them all. If a person eats several steamed buns, they may give positive reviews for the first one and not give them for the second one. No one can say for sure about this. Fang Xue is still very satisfied. On the first day, there was not enough preparation, it was already very good. At 11 o'clock, Fang Xue looked at the board few people and found that they were really overqualified and underutilized. But what could be done? They could only follow him. You guys eat, come out with me after finishing. Fang Xue looks at the leftover steamed buns and has some congee. She is not ready to sell. Alright, my old Zhang is already hungry and waiting for the master to speak. Upon hearing Fang Xue's words, Zhang Fei regained his energy and reached out to take the big bun and stuff it into his mouth. Thank you, Lord. Guan Yu clenched his fists. This lord is really considerate. Without saying a word, he took the steamed bun and glanced at Zhang Fei. This third brother is really rude, why can't he eat more politely? Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang also bowed in gratitude. I'm also hungry, my lord is really considerate. Diao Chan had a gentle expression on her face, and her watery eyes looked at Fang Xue. It seemed that her movements were not slow, and she was afraid that she would be slow. Her bun was once again shot by Zhang Fei. Don't give me such a routine. This morning and morning are all up to you. How many boys have asked you for WeChat? Don't you have any idea? But Diao Chan didn't give it to anyone because she didn't have WeChat, she didn't have a phone, and Fang Xue didn't want to buy it for her. Do you want to buy one? You 5 people, can I afford to buy 5 phones for you now? Mobile phones are not fun to play with. Playing with things can be frustrating. Let's be ambitious young people first. Thank you to the relatives who voted for me, love you all. Seeking collection, seeking recommendation. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Buying clothes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Buying clothes. Fang Xue has no plans to buy them phones, but she still has to take them out. She needs to buy 2 sets of clothes that can be changed and washed for people. She can't keep wearing this ancient costume, it smells bad. How many marching beds should we buy, otherwise how will they sleep at night? They can't all sleep on the ground, she hasn't treated people to this extent yet. Fang Xue led a few people out, and the group of 6 people was really spectacular, especially the 5 wearing ancient costumes, which had a remarkable rate of turning heads. Fang Xue first led them to Wenzhou City, where the 4th floor of Wenzhou City is a clothing wholesale market. Inside, clothes cost dozens of yuan, and there are also clothes worth a few yuan. Fang Xue has no intention of taking them to the mall. Are you joking? How expensive are the clothes in the mall? She's a poor person and she can't even bear to go. Take them. My old Zhang doesn't like this thing. Zhang Fei doesn't like the clothes in front of him. He feels that the materials used in these clothes are too few, and it must be uncomfortable to wear them. Okay, then you won't buy it. Fang Xue nodded, this is a great person. It's just a good time to save money. Otherwise, buying 2 sets for you would cost a lot of money. How many buns would you have to sell? Master, I'll go try on the clothes first. Liu Bei took his clothes and went ahead. He's not that foolish as Zhang Fei. When he gets here, of course, he should follow the local customs. Master, these 2 sets are good. Big brother, I'll try them out after trying them out. Guan Yu also picked what he liked. The 3rd brother's face was black and silly, not like him and his elder brother. Liang also thinks it's good. Zhuge Liang also made a good choice. He looked calm and indifferent, but in fact, he was also cursing Zhang Fei for being foolish in his heart. Diao Chan also enthusiastically chose, but Zhang Fei, the foolish brother, didn't want it. He happened to ask the master to buy her an extra one, but Zhang Fei's black-faced brother ate her steamed buns. Trying one after another, not to mention Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhuge Liang, all have good figures and can wear anything they hold. Lord, how do you think Liang is dressed? Zhuge Liang also asked for Fang Xue's opinion. Fang Xue nodded, she looks good and looks good in everything she wears. Zhang Fei stared wide-eyed, looking at his elder brother, his second brother, and his family's military strategists, all of whom had chosen clothes and even changed them. Although it was awkward, they all wore them and he didn't wear them. Would he want to be isolated by them? In fact, as she watched Liu Bei and the others change their clothes, Fang Xue also felt uncomfortable. They all had beards, and wearing modern clothing was a bit out of place. It was still ancient clothing that was most suitable for them. Buy them historical costumes. Never mind, ancient costumes are so expensive. Let's deal with them first. If it doesn't work out, let them shave their beards. Buying a razor can be used by 4 people, not stronger than buying historical clothing. Thank you very much, Lord. Guan Yu clenched his fists at Fang Xue. Guan Yu is the most morally upright person. Whoever treats him well will treat him well. Although the female protagonist has a cold face, he cares about their food and buys clothes for them. That's a great person. The clothes seller's mouth twitched at the sight. Where did this come from? Lord, she is a woman. Why does this one by one make him so uncomfortable? What kind of plague is it? Fang Xue saw the boss's expression and said to herself, what's wrong? I'm a woman, so I can't be the protagonist anymore. You guys should call me girl in the future. In fact, Fang Xue is not very fond of this title. When Zhang Fei first came out, she called her sister, but later she called her master. She really forgot to ask them to change their names, mainly because she didn't worry about this small matter. Sister, do you think this looks good on me? Diao Chan over there also changed her clothes and walked up to Fang Xue, showing her. Fang Xue looked at Diao Chan with a serene expression. Sister. You are the older sister, your whole family is all older sisters. You don't know how old you are in your heart. Call me sister. But look at the clothes on Diao Chan's body. The top costs 10 yuan and the pants cost 15 yuan. Forget it, it doesn't fit your perspective. However, it has to be said that the beauty of a person is really good. Even if this cheap item wears on Diao Chan's body, it cannot stop her beauty. Fang Xue looked at herself in the mirror. Her clothes were better than Diao Chan's, and she was taller and had a good figure. It's just that my face doesn't match. Speaking of which, Fang Xue is pretty long and has fair skin. She is also considered a beautiful woman with clear eyebrows and eyes, comparable to Diao Chan, which is naturally incomparable. The boss looked at Diao Chan's outfit and felt regretful. It's not a pity to replace the clothes, but a pity to replace others. With such a beautiful and attractive girl, coming to him to buy clothes is just a waste of time, isn't it? The third floor is filled with women's clothing, which is not expensive either. It's quite a lot for a few tens of yuan each. The boss spoke up, he couldn't bear to watch anymore. He really felt that his clothes didn't match this beautiful woman. Fang Xue gave the boss a cool glance. She didn't know there were women's clothing on the third floor. I still need you to say. The problem is that tens of yuan are not money. After Fang Xue finished buying clothes for them, she only had a few hundred yuan left on her phone and WeChat account. What, did you say you still have a bank card? If Fang Xue had money in her bank card, could the original owner worry to death? Can she wear it at a cheaper price? My aunt can't even afford to eat anymore, it would be great if we could take them to buy clothes. What are you thinking? That's great, I'll take this set. Thank you, sister, my servant. Diao Chan thanked Fang Xue with a happy expression. She could see Fang Xue's gaze, which could freeze people to death. She was very sensible, how could she possibly make things difficult for her lord? If the protagonist gets angry and doesn't allow her to eat so many steamed buns in the future, and gives them all to Zhang Fei, then how can she survive? Compared to clothes, she still thinks it's better to have something to eat. The boss shook his head and said, forget it, he's meddling. Sister, I want it too. Zhang Fei took a set of clothes and looked pitifully at Fang Xue. He couldn't make a special one, he had to have one too. He had to wear the same clothes as his older brother and second brother. Fang Xue didn't stop her either. If you want it, you have to go ahead. Anyway, she spends an extra 30 or 40, and she can't afford it. Fang Xue was also very generous and helped them buy a set of large vests and shorts, which cost 3 to 5 yuan per piece, suitable for wearing at home and sleeping. After buying the clothes, Fang Xue looked at them all with satisfaction, her face slightly flushed, but she had thick skin, and her blush was not noticeable. He led them to the underground level again to buy a marching bed. Being able to sleep and being cheap is just Fang Xue's selection criteria. If you don't agree, you can buy it yourself. Fortunately, Liu Guanzhang and Zhuge Liang have no objections. I also bought bedding and other items. What, you said that Fang Xue's phone balance may not be enough. Dear, let's get to know Alipay Huabei. I'll brush it first, and it'll be back next month. After buying these, Fang Xue also printed the payment code of WeChat and Alipay. She had not prepared to open a steamed stuffed bun shop before, so she did not prepare these. I found another plaque shop, and Fang Xue wanted to customize a plaque. Originally, she didn't want to use the plaque from that shop, so she definitely wanted to customize a new one. As for the name. Thank you to my friends who vote for me every day. Please collect and recommend me. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Fried Skewers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Fried Skewers. Fang Xue glanced at the people following her. Master, no, girl, you can call it the Han Baozi shop. Liu Bei was the first to express his opinion. He was the head of the Han family, so the steamed bun shop naturally had connections with the Han family. Spring and autumn bun shops are also available. Guan Yu also spoke up. Since Big Brother can name him, he can naturally do the same. My old Zhang thinks it's okay to call, but I haven't figured it out yet. Zhang Fei stared blankly. Big Brother and Second Brother had all given names, but unfortunately he couldn't remember a name for a moment. Liang thinks it's called a thatched cottage. Zhuge Liang has an immortal demeanor and strong character. Sister, I think it's better to call it Beauty Baozi shop. Both I and my sister are beauties. Diao Chan's eyes were filled with sparkling autumn waves. She and Fang Xue were both women, so naturally it was mainly her and Fang Xue. The names of her brothers were not good. Are you all so cute, thinking I would choose your name? Do you think Fang Xue can't come up with a good name for her? It's hard to say the name, just the celebrity steamed bun shop. Anyway, all the people in her shop are celebrities. As for whether she is a celebrity, there is nothing to ask. She is the boss, and she has the final say. Lord, no, Snow sister, great talent. Zhuge Liang nodded first and praised, the name was chosen well. She is truly a heroine among women. Liu Bei is also generous in praising, to put it in good words, he is good at it. Good. Guan Yu nodded, the name is indeed quite good. My old Zhang also thinks it's good. Zhang Fei is the most direct. Sister's mind is really exquisite. Diao Chan not only praises, but also sends autumn waves. Fang Xue glanced at Diao Chan and said, if you're like this, I really can't resist being a man. But it's just a name, I believe all of you who praise me. Agree with the boss to come and pick up the time, Fang Xue will take a look and buy what should be bought, what should not be bought, it is impossible to buy. On the way back, many pedestrians, taxis, and private cars looked at them, mainly dressed in ancient costumes, with beards, and carrying marching beds, bedding, and bags, giving people a strange feeling. The people here are enthusiastic, and Fang Xue has encountered many like-minded people along the way. Not only those aunties, but also the masters here are enthusiastic. Ask them what they are doing, why are they all dressed like this? Are their beards really fake? Aren't they tired carrying a marching bed? Why not take a taxi? How about finding someone to ride the donkey upside down? Fang Xue doesn't know why they have so many problems one by one. Huzi really has nothing to do with you, whether you're tired or not, and he didn't ask you to help carry them. He even took a taxi. They all ate so much, and if you don't do some work, what are you doing to support them? However, Fang Xue did not hear Liu Guanzhang's complaint. Instead, she asked them to carry the things. They looked relaxed and quite willing. Diao Chan didn't carry anything in her hand. With so many brothers, there's no need for her and Fang Xue. Seeing Diao Chan showing no disdain for her clothes and shoes that cost less than 100 yuan from head to toe, walking on the road with her head raised high and proud, Fang Xue felt a little guilty. The guilty result was that Fang Xue bought fried skewers for Diao Chan. Ah, it's delicious, thank you, sister. Diao Chan's eyes lit up as she ate fried skewers. This thing didn't look impressive, but it was very fragrant. In the future, she must treat her grandfather well. He may buy her fried skewers to eat every day. If there were fried skewers to eat every day, it would be too happy. Sister, I also want to eat. Zhang Fei is not polite. He looked at Fang Xue eagerly. If Fang Xue really didn't buy it for him, he would go and grab Diao Chan's fried skewers. As for whether he could beat Diao Chan, let's talk about it then. You are really a little cutie. Fang Xue glanced at Zhang Fei and realized that he had already wrapped all the fried skewers, probably not enough to fill your stomach. Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhuge Liang don't need to speak up. With Zhang Fei rushing ahead, they naturally have something to eat. Fang Xue despised Zhang Fei's ability to eat, but she still bought 2 fried skewers for everyone. As for whether they were enough to eat, just taste them, and don't worry about how much they were enough. This fried skewer is really delicious, but there are too few. Girl, please buy more for my old Zhang next time. Zhang Fei finished his fried skewers in a few bites, and then looked at the delicious food that Diao Chan was eating. He couldn't snatch Diao Chan's food, could he? Diao Chan had to drown him with tears. Zhang Fei looked at his older brother again. He had just finished one skewer and was leisurely eating the second one. He couldn't grab his older brother's one. Zhang Fei looked at his second brother again. His second brother was eating his second string. Looking at him, his second brother glanced at him and continued to eat. He couldn't snatch his second brother's food either. But didn't it say that having blessings and enjoying difficulties is equally important? You all eat, can't we give your third brother some? Zhang Fei felt a bit aggrieved and went to see his family's military advisor. When his military advisor saw him looking over, he smiled at him and continued to eat the fried skewers in his hand. He ate them with peace of mind, but his military advisor didn't say he would be given them. Zhang Fei still wants to eat, so he can only tell Fang Xue. Line. Fang Xue looked at Zhang Fei's pitiful expression and nodded. As for the fried skewers that belonged to her, she quickly stuffed them into her mouth, as it was impossible to give them to Zhang Fei. Fried skewers are not expensive, and she doesn't want to treat them harshly. But money is not enough for her now, and she can't do anything about it. When she makes money in the future, she will let Zhang Fei eat enough, eat one skewer after another. It's better to say goodbye, just eat, not throw, and not waste food. Returning to the Baozi shop, Fang Xue and the others went up to the second floor and looked at the space on the second floor. Fang Xue sighed in her heart, how can I sleep? Yes, there are several small beds that can be placed upstairs, but not all of them can sleep upstairs, men and women living together. They are not really handsome guys. Not convenient, not convenient. Let's leave the bed here for now. At night, Diao Chan and I will sleep upstairs. You guys can deal with it downstairs for 2 days, and I'll take a look and rent a house. Fang Xue can only arrange it this way. In fact, she also wants to rent a house now. Behind her shop is a residential building, which is old and not expensive. A month of about 60 square meters is only 600 or 700. Of course, if it were the elevator room across from her, it would be more expensive. But it's impossible for you to rent a house once a month. This kind of old community starts renting for at least 6 months, and she doesn't have the money now. A penny won't beat a hero. That night, she discussed with the system to see if the system could waive the payment for selling steamed buns and let her rent a house first. Okay, girl. Zhang Fei happily agreed. He didn't mind the basic conditions. He came from a poor family and didn't pay much attention to war. According to his words, old Zhang could eat and also endure hardship. The girl is already very kind to his old Zhang, why bother asking for a bicycle? Having a place to live is great. Guan Yu also nodded, and he didn't pay much attention to these things. He felt that the Lord had already considered them very much. It's putting the girl in a difficult position. Liu Bei nodded at Fang Xue with a deep understanding of righteousness. Liang is willing to sleep downstairs. Zhuge Liang shook his feather fan and nodded. What's wrong with this? The Lord and Diao Chan are women, and they should sleep downstairs. Sister treats me well. Diao Chan was very happy, the protagonist treated her the best. Thank you to my friends who vote for me every day. I am looking for collectibles, recommended votes, and new books that require care and support. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Emoji Pack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Emoji Pack. Fang Xue looked at them, each one so reasonable and demanding so low. What else could she say? She felt embarrassed to drive them away. You guys, just eat less one by one. Speaking of eating, Fang Xue has a headache again. Dinner, it's time for dinner. What are you eating? We can't eat the system steamed buns anymore. The system steamed buns are too expensive, and they have to eat too much money. Make your own steamed buns. Forget it, they can still eat steamed buns all at once. I'll go buy noodles. Fang Xue went to the nearby snack shop to buy several pairs of dried noodles, and then went to buy 2 pairs of vegetables and a few cucumbers. Fang Xue cooked several large pots of dried noodles, inside which vegetables were added, shredded cucumbers were cut, and meat sauce and egg brine were fried. Watching Zhang Fei snoring a bowl or 2 of noodles, Fang Xue's mouth twitched. Fortunately, she bought hanging noodles. If she went to a noodle shop to eat, even the cheapest bowl of 7 yuan noodles would cost Zhang Fei a lot of money. Fang Xue didn't count how many bowls Zhang Fei ate. She was afraid that she would feel heartbroken. She only looked at Diao Chan, who surprisingly ate 6 large bowls of braised noodles. This is not the kind of small rice bowl at home, it's the ocean bowl. She was full in just 1 bowl, but Diao Chan was thinner than her and could even eat 6 large bowls. Dear, let's get to know more about the food broadcast. With just your appetite, you will definitely become popular. Fang Xue really wanted to open a food show for them, but she didn't. She didn't want to use them to follow and earn money because they were leaving in a year. There is no leftover noodle cooked by Fang Xue. The noodles are finished, I need to drink the noodle soup. Zhuge Liang was wearing a vest and pants, shaking his feather fan and drinking noodle soup, looking as if enjoying himself. Dear, your immortal demeanor and extraordinary demeanor. Liu Bei drank a bowl of noodle soup and stroked his beard, squinting his eyes. Dear, you are Uncle Huang. How about a bowl of noodle soup like this? Diao Chan's cheeks turned pink as she drank, making her look intoxicating. Looking at Zhang Fei again, he is holding a pot and drinking noodle soup. Fang Xue covers his face. Why does Zhang Fei's art style change at a glance? Fang Xue has once again gained a new understanding of their appetite. Fortunately, they are not picky eaters, otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford it. Fang Xue sighed and took out her phone to take a photo of Zhang Fei holding a pot and drinking noodle soup. Girl, why are you patting me? Zhang Fei turned around with a pot in his hand and a surprised expression on his face. He wondered if old Zhang had anything to take pictures of. Fang Xue took another photo as quickly as possible, and saw Zhang Fei, with a bun in his hair and a face as black as the bottom of a pot. No, it wasn't that black either. He had a big beard on his face, his eyes staring like copper bells, and he was holding a pot and looking at Fang Xue. This is not the strangest thing. The strangest thing is that Zhang Fei is wearing a big vest with camouflage pants underneath, and a pair of plastic slippers he just bought today. This outfit really has no one around. Fang Xue has 2 more pictures. These can be used as emojis, and fighting pictures must be fun. After finishing the shoot, Fang Xue calmly put away her phone and nodded calmly at Zhang Fei. What are you asking me? I want to make an emoji. I want to leave behind all your wonderful moments, but if I don't go back to you, what can you do? Zhang Fei ignored Fang Xue and turned his head to continue drinking noodle soup. Liu Bei shook his head and sighed. These 3 younger brothers are all interested in eating. Guan Yu's Danfang's eyes narrowed even harder. These 3 younger brothers are really not promising. Why don't they know how to restrain themselves a bit? Zhuge Liang shook his fan like an outsider. After all, it wasn't him who was embarrassing. Diao Chan smiled and squinted her eyes. Brother Zhang Fei is really interesting. Fang Xue saw their expressions one by one in her eyes. It really doesn't matter to oneself, hang it high. However, don't worry, I will make your emoticons one by one. There are all of them, no one can run away. After tidying up, Fang Xue led them upstairs and asked everyone to queue up to wash up and rest. It was really tiring for the day. Liu Guanzhang, Zhuge Liang moved the bed down. As for making bedding or something, Fang Xue was too lazy to care. They were all big men, could they still make a bedding? As for whether they were originally taken care of or not, she doesn't serve them here anyway. After taking a shower, Fang Xue came out and saw Diao Chan, wearing short-sleeved shorts, sitting on her small bed playing with a few dolls. Yes, little doll. This little doll was caught by the original owner Fang Xue on the doll catching machine in the mall. She grabbed several dolls and placed them on the bed. The original owner liked them, but Fang Xue didn't really like them. However, Fang Xue did not throw away the original owner's belongings, and to her surprise, Diao Chan had a great time playing. Watching Diao Chan make various expressions on the little doll, it's really beautiful and adorable. Fang Xue couldn't help but take out her phone and take many photos of Diao Chan. Fang Xue is still a bit biased. The Zhang Fei she filmed can be used as an emoji, but the Diao Chan she filmed really looks good no matter how you look at it. Even the otaku's heart can be transformed. If this were to be sent out, there would probably be a bunch of drooling wolves howling below. But Fang Xue won't let it out, beautiful woman. She just needs to appreciate it herself. Fang Xue blew her hair and sat on the bed. Sister. Diao Chan made a sound behind Fang Xue. Before Fang Xue could turn around, Diao Chan hugged Fang Xue from behind. Sister, it's really nice here. I like it here, sister. Diao Chan placed her head on Fang Xue's shoulder. Where is good here for me? The pigeon cage in the room is so big, I'll give you clothes worth 5 to 10 yuan each, and I'll let you eat steamed buns, noodles, and even fried skewers. You silly girl, it's better for you to find anyone than to follow me. How old is he? He looks like a child. Fang Xue patted Diao Chan's hand as a signal for her to let go of herself. Do they like their sister? Diao Chan rubbed Fang Xue's shoulder with her chin. Fang Xue was speechless. Her pestering energy was like that of a kitten. If she were a boy, she might be as gentle as steel at the moment, but she is a girl, a girl. So no matter how spoiled you are, it's useless. You should be given steamed buns, you can't be given fried skewers, you should be asked to work, and you can't eat melon seeds. Sleep. Fang Xue lay down expressionless. Sister. Diao Chan and Fang Xue lay together, her watery eyes staring at Fang Xue. Close your eyes, sleep, don't talk anymore, or I'll throw you down. Fang Xue's voice was cold because she was afraid she couldn't resist the charm of Diao Chan. The four beautiful women were not joking, they were really beautiful. Sleep, sleep. Diao Chan quickly closed her eyes. She couldn't be thrown out of bed by her sister. She wanted to sleep with her sister for a year, and no one could take her place. I don't know if the brothers have started arguing below. Diao Chan closed her eyes but kept talking. Are they still arguing? Fang Xue casually asked. Liu Guanzhang is a representative figure of brotherhood, so how could they argue after Zhuge Liang died for his lord with all his might? That's really noisy, sister. Let me tell you. Diao Chan opened her eyes as she spoke, supported her head with her hand, and looked at Fang Xue. She began to speak with a clattering sound. Thank you to my friends who vote for me every day. I am looking for collectibles, recommended votes, and new books that require care and support. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Night Market. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Night Market. From Diao Chan's account, Fang Xue knew that they were staying in a special space where they could see the outside world and know about its development, but they could not go out freely. There are many people in that space, they can chat with each other, and they are all waiting inside to be chosen. There are many parallel worlds in this world, and people like Fang Xue who are lucky enough to create these characters are not the only ones. However, there is only one share in a world, which means that only Fang Xue can release them. Although other parallel worlds can also release people, with so many of them, there are not many places to go out, and each world is different, so the places that come out are very precious. This spot needs to be snatched. For example, in the Three Kingdoms, why did she come out instead of other women? That's because she snatched it. She defeated many women to get this spot. As for why the three brothers Liu Guanzhang and Zhuge Liang came out, it was because Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Zhao Zilong were powerful. Of course, LV Bu and the others were also powerful, but there was no unity on the part of LV Bu. As for why Zhao Zilong did not come out, it was because Liu Bei held Zhao Zilong accountable, morally kidnapping, and Zhao Zilong's spot was obtained by Liu Bei. As for Zhuge Liang, he has a brain, so he picked up the leak. Why can they eat so well? Because they can see the outside world inside, but there is no food inside. They can't eat inside, so when they come out, they can all eat and are not picky, because whatever they eat is not easy for them. This year has passed, and the next time they come out, we don't know when, so they all have to stay and eat, eat, eat. Do we have to keep both good and bad? You can't resist. Fang Xue finished listening and asked a question. Yes. Diao Chan nodded and looked at Fang Xue with innocent eyes. At this moment, Fang Xue fully understood that whoever released it, who was responsible, and who had to follow. If this person was not good to these people, they would have to endure it. Diao Chan said he couldn't resist, but Fang Xue didn't think it was entirely true. Perhaps these celebrities who were released would be constrained, but what if the people who released these people were bad people? Let them do bad things. What about hurting them? They really can't resist at all. Fang Xue doesn't believe it. However, Fang Xue did not pursue them, and she did not want to use them for anything, nor did she want to harm them. It's just that they didn't eat well, lived well, dressed well, and slept well. She's the same herself, she didn't say she ate meat and let them gnaw on bones, so she has a clear conscience. Master, sister, have you slept yet? Fang Xue suddenly heard a shout, no need to ask, it was Zhang Fei's loud voice. What's going on? Fang Xue got out of bed and spoke up. Tell her why you're not sleeping well, why are you calling her? What did they do yesterday? I don't know in my heart. She was tossed around in the middle of the night and just wanted to have a good sleep. Sister, the other side is quite lively. We want to go and see the excitement. Zhang Fei couldn't understand Fang Xue's expression. He couldn't sleep, and his brothers couldn't sleep either. They just looked outside, slept, and chatted all day in that space. They had slept enough. After coming out, they didn't want to sleep. Fang Xue remained silent, could she not know that the other side was bustling? Her shop is diagonally opposite the Starlight Night Market, not too big, but full of beautiful and various lights. When it lights up at night, it is very beautiful. In addition to the lights, there are various stalls, such as roast squid, roast kidney, roast various gluten meat skewers, fried tripe with water, liangpi, various cakes, crayfish, beer, fruit, and various snacks. There are also quite a few things to play with, such as hoops, small animals, and so on. After leaving her door, walk 10 meters across the street to the night market. You can watch the bustling night market and taste the delicious food in the world. The problem is asking for money, money. What Fang Xue needs the most now is money, otherwise she would take them to the night market. Boss, here are 20 strings of big squid. Boss, 10 strings of big kidneys, and mutton shashlik with more pepper. Boss, a pot of crayfish with spicy taste. Boss, 2 boxes of Harbin beer, let's blow each bottle. Eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. You spent me a few hundred yuan today, don't you have any idea? With these few hundred yuan, she can eat at the night market with a round waist and belly. What about now? Now that she's in debt, do you still want me to take you to the night market? Think beautifully. Fang Xue closed the door expressionlessly. 5 minutes later. Sister, this is a cute mouse. Diao Chan crouched in front of a cage, inside which were several golden rats. It's really cute because there are not only Diao Chan squatting in front of the booth, but also other girls. Even Zhang Fei's big black face is squatting there to look, and he doesn't even blink when he looks. This little thing is really fun. Why is that little expression so interesting? There are too many cute things, just take a look, I can't buy them. Fang Xue ignored Diao Chan's gaze and said, you left, who cares? She can't possibly keep this thing. Yes, Fang Xue just needs to take a look at cute little animals. She doesn't know how to keep them, so she doesn't buy them. Oh, why is this little rabbit so fun? Its fur is really soft and white. Diao Chan finished watching the golden wire mouse and crouched down in front of the rabbit. When she saw a cute little animal, she couldn't walk. Of course, she only looked, didn't buy, and wouldn't act coquettishly with Fang Xue. Why is this little cat so well behaved? It's really beautiful. Diao Chan squatted in front of the cat cage again. Zhang Fei followed from the golden squirrel cage to the rabbit cage and then to the cat cage. Diao Chan squatted there, and he squatted next to Diao Chan. Diao Chan looked at the starry eyes, and Zhang Fei also looked at the starry eyes. You are Zhang Fei, just like Diao Chan, you really have great potential. Fang Xue sighed in her heart, and then without hesitation, she took photos, saved them, and saved them. Liu Guanzhang, and Zhuge Liang stood silently, so that they wouldn't squat there like that big black man, like a fool. You big masters squat there, see how others look at you, see how many ugly photos you have been taken by the protagonist. Beauty, buy this and take care of it. Look how beautiful it looks, it's so good. The cat seller really likes Diao Chan and makes a sound. This beautiful woman is so good looking, she definitely doesn't need money. How much does this cat cost? Diao Chan asked and even reached out to touch the kitten's paw, but it was so well behaved. How could it look so beautiful? Fang Xue also thinks that this cat is really beautiful, but she doesn't like cats. She is always afraid that cats will scratch people. 3001, if a beautiful woman chooses to buy it, just give it 2008. The cat seller said the price, and her cat is indeed a good one. If sold to wealthy people, it is not expensive for 5,000 yuan, but it cannot be sold at a high price in the night market. Well, this cat looks good. Sister, let's go over there and take a look. Diao Chan praised after listening, and then the cat stopped touching. Without hesitation, she stood up and took Fang Xue's arm, walking towards the snack. Thank you to all the relatives who voted for me, thank you for your support. Please collect and vote. End of this chapter.